Hey, welcome to today's podcast session
on The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. You must listen to this audio podcast. It will inspire you.
What if your biggest dream was more than just a dream? What if it was like a calling echoing from the very soul of the universe? And what if the path to that dream was filled with, unexpected detours, startling tests, and surprising encounters that reveal a wisdom far older than words?
Well, today we're embarking on an extraordinary deep dive into the heart of a story that's captivated millions. Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist.
Right.
Our mission really is to trace the footsteps of this young shepherd named Santiago. We'll explore his incredible journey, the pivotal figures he meets, the daunting challenges he faces, and the universal truths he uncovers.
Truths about destiny, fear, faith, all that deep stuff.
Exactly, and the deepest desires of the human heart.
And just to be clear, we're not really looking at, literary analysis or biographical details about Coelho.
No, not at all.
Instead, we're treating this narrative as a powerful, reflective tale. Something designed to move and maybe inspire you, our listener, on your own path of personal growth.
Think of it as an audio journey.
Yeah, an audio journey designed to illuminate the surprising wisdom found within one boy's simple yet really profound quest.
So let's set the scene. Santiago's life before everything changes. We first meet him as this young, pretty contented shepherd in the rolling hills of Andalusia, Spain.
He seems happy enough, right?
Oh, definitely. He's happy with his nomadic existence. He finds companionship in his flock. He enjoys the simple pleasures of reading, observing the world around him. He knows his sheep really well.
Like intimately.
Yeah, their routines, their personalities. He even reads to them from his books, shares his thoughts on the villages they pass through, almost like they understand him.
He feels that connection.
A deep connection, yeah. He calls it this mysterious energy that binds his life to theirs.
That's fascinating. And it is a comfortable life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Familiar, predictable. His parents wanted him to be a priest.
Right, that was the plan.
But he chose this. He chose to travel, to see the world. So, in a way, he'd already made one big leap of faith by becoming a shepherd.
That's a great point. He was already defying expectations.
He's proud of that choice because it lets him live out his dream of travel, basically every day. But here's where it gets, really interesting. He's sheltering his flock in the ruins of an abandoned church.
With that huge sycamore tree growing right inside it.
Exactly, right where the sacristy used to be. And that's where the dream keeps finding him.
This specific dream, yeah. It's visited him twice now. Always the same.
Tell us about it.
Well, it's a child playing with his sheep. And this child transports Santiago in the dream to the Egyptian pyramids and promises him a hidden treasure there.
Yeah.
But crucially, he always wakes up just before the exact location of the treasure is revealed. Every single time.
Frustrating.
Very. And this recurring dream, it creates this profound internal conflict within Santiago. He is comfortable with his life, especially with the prospect of meeting this merchant's daughter he's, taken a liking to.
Right, there's romance potentially brewing.
But then there's this persistent, mysterious call of the dream, this whisper of something more. It really tugs at him. It's a clash between the known and the unknown, comfort versus this deep curiosity.
It's that classic human dilemma, isn't it? It's that nagging feeling that maybe there's something else out there for us, even when we're perfectly fine where we are. I mean, how many of us ignore or dismiss those recurring nudges, those quiet whispers of a deeper purpose or maybe an unfulfilled desire, just because they challenge our comfortable routines?
So relatable.
Santiago is facing that choice right from the start. Stability versus the unknown call of destiny. It really makes you wonder about the cost of not exploring those whispers,
Exactly. It's a profound initial setup that mirrors so many of our own experiences. We have these moments of intuition, these signs that something greater awaits, but the fear of disrupting our established comfort, it often keeps us from acting.
So Santiago's journey really begins by confronting this very universal human tendency. He could have just brushed it off.
Easily. Dismissed the dream as just, a dream. But something compels him to seek answers.
So Santiago, he's kind of haunted by this recurring dream, right?
Right.
And he decides he needs answers. His first stop, a gypsy woman in Tarifa.
Right. And he's not exactly thrilled about it.
No, he's got all these childhood fears about gypsies, stories about them tricking people, maybe having pacts with the devil, that sort of thing. So he's skeptical, even a bit scared which he takes his hands to read his palm.
It's a vulnerable position for him, definitely. But what's fascinating is that despite his apprehension, Santiago goes.
Oh, true.
It's an early sign of his willingness to step outside his comfort zone, even if it's driven by this desperate curiosity.
And the gypsy woman's interpretation. It's surprisingly simple.
Incredibly simple and direct. The treasure is indeed at the Egyptian pyramids. That's it. No complex riddles, just a straightforward confirmation of what his dream already told him.
It's almost disappointing for him, isn't it? Too easy.
Kind of, yeah. And then comes her demand, 1/10 of the treasure if he finds it.
Which immediately makes him think, here's the trick. Typical gypsy stuff, according to his prejudice.
Exactly. But then she delivers this line, this profound statement that really sticks with him. It's the simple things in life that are the most extraordinary. Only wise men are able to understand them.
That cuts through his skepticism a bit. So how does this first encounter kind of set the stage for him?
Well, it raises a really important question for Santiago right away. Can he trust something that seems so simple, so unconventional? Especially coming from someone society often distrusts.
Like, is wisdom only found in expected places? Books, priests, scholars?
Precisely. Or can it come from a figure like a gypsy, someone often marginalized? This is Santiago's first real test of faith, maybe not in God specifically, but in the universe's way of communicating.
Okay.
He's starting to learn that profound truth might be hidden in plain sight, presented by those we least expect, and often in a form that challenges our, preconceived notions. It forces him to consider that real guidance might not always look the way he thought it would.
Okay, so let's unpack this next encounter, because it feels really pivotal. He's still kind of mulling over the gypsy's advice, maybe feeling a bit let down or confused.
Right, he's sitting in a plaza, reading a book.
And then this old man approaches him, introduces himself as Melchizedek, the king of Salem. And he seems to know, well, everything about Santiago.
It's uncanny. His parents' names, the seminary he attended, even the name of the merchant's daughter he likes. It's like he appeared out of nowhere knowing all these intimate details.
What's striking is Melchizedek's immediate impact. He jumps right in, introduces Santiago to one of the book's core ideas, the world's greatest lie.
Which is?
The lie is the belief that at a certain point, we lose control of our lives and we just become puppets of fate.
Good.
But Melchizedek points out that Santiago, by choosing to be a shepherd instead of a priest specifically so he could travel, had already defied this lie, even if he didn't realize it.
So the king is essentially validating Santiago's past choices, affirming his inherent freedom, reminding him he already made a bold move towards what he wanted.
Exactly. And then the big one, the concept of personal legend.
Explain that.
It's described as what you've always wanted to accomplish, something you know when you're young, when everything seems clear and possible.
Before life gets complicated.
Right. But, the king explains, this mysterious force starts trying to convince people it's impossible to achieve their personal legend.
Okay, so it's an obstacle.
Well, here's the twist. This force isn't actually negative. It's there to prepare your spirit and your will. It's more like a test, a refining process, not just a roadblock.
Ah, interesting. So those early difficulties aren't meant to stop you, but to strengthen you.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
And connecting this to the bigger picture, Melchizedek reveals this fundamental truth. When you genuinely desire something, truly want it, it's because that desire originated in the soul of the universe.
Wow.
It is, in fact, your mission on Earth. And the really famous line, when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it.
That's the cornerstone of the whole philosophy, isn't it? This interconnectedness of individual purpose and, well, cosmic support.
But what does all the universe conspires really mean? It doesn't seem like straight-up magic.
No, I don't think it's magic in the wand-waving sense. It's more about seeing the synchronicity, the unexpected connections, the opportunities that seem to appear when you're truly aligned with your purpose.
Like the universe isn't just giving you stuff, but revealing paths that were maybe always there, but you couldn't see them until you committed.
That feels right. It's about perception shifting when your intention is clear. And to really drive this home, the king points to a baker in the plaza.
Right, the baker.
Yeah, as a child, this baker dreamed of traveling. But he decided, I need security first. So he bought his bakery, saved money, always putting off his dream of travel until he was an old man.
And maybe never getting there.
Probably not. It's a classic example, the king says, of that human trap. Trading your true desires for what feels like security or maybe just social acceptance. It's a powerful cautionary tale for Santiago, who's still weighing his own comfortable life against this dream of treasure.
And it's interesting how Melchizedek appears, too. He says he doesn't always show up looking like a king.
No, sometimes he's just a solution or a good idea or something that makes things easier right when you need it. He tells that story about the miner.
Oh, yeah, the emerald miner.
Right. This miner searched for an emerald for 5 years, found nothing, and was just about to give up. Then Melchizedek appears, but just as a rolling stone.
A literal stone.
Yeah. Rolls to the miner's foot. The miner gets angry, picks it up, throws it, and the stone he throws cracks open another stone, revealing this incredible emerald inside.
Wow. So the help is there, but maybe not always obvious.
Exactly. It reinforces that universal support for your personal legend is always present, often in subtle or unexpected ways if you're open to recognizing it.
So Santiago is convinced. He agrees to give Melchizedek 6 sheep, 1/10 of his flock, just like the gypsy asked for with the treasure.
That parallel is interesting, the 1/10 payment.
And in return, the king gives him 2 stones, Urim and Thummim, black for yes, white for no, to help him read the omens.
But with crucial advice.
Right. Try to make your own decisions, which is huge. It emphasizes inner guidance over just relying on external tools. He's given help, but told to trust himself first.
That's a critical step towards self-reliance for Santiago.
And before Melchizedek vanishes, he tells Santiago that story, the one about the wise man and the drops of oil.
Ah, yes, the spoon and the oil. A young man goes to learn the secret of happiness from a wise man.
And the wise man gives him a spoon with 2 drops of oil in it. Tells him, okay, walk around my castle, see all the amazing things, but whatever you do, don't spill the oil.
So the boy walks around, totally focused on the spoon, terrified of spilling the oil.
And misses everything, all the beauty, the art, the gardens.
Right. So the wise man sends him back, go look at the marvels. This time the boy sees everything. He's amazed.
But he spills the oil.
He spills the oil. And the wise man's lesson. The secret of happiness is to see all the marvels of the world and never to forget the drops of oil on the spoon.
It's such a great parable. What does Santiago take from it immediately?
His first thought is very practical. A shepherd has to remember his sheep, even while he's traveling or dreaming of other things. It highlights that tension between responsibility and ambition.
You need balance.
Exactly. You need balance to pursue your dream. It's not about just ditching everything, but about integrating your new desires with your existing responsibilities or maybe your core values.
But it feels deeper too, doesn't it? Like being present in the moment, attending to your duties, even while you're chasing some grand vision. The journey itself matters, not just the end point.
Precisely. And it forces Santiago to really think, how much does he value his current life? His responsibilities? How much is he willing to risk for this unconfirmed treasure? It's about finding that balance between the comfort zone and the unknown, recognizing that true happiness might mean holding both somehow.
Which brings us right to Santiago's really difficult decision. After meeting the king, he's properly torn between his familiar, comfortable life, his sheep, the merchant's daughter he's quite taken with, and this persistent unknown call of his personal legend. He's sitting by the port, watching ships heading to Africa, knowing his treasure is supposedly over there.
But also seeing the life he could easily slip back into. He's right at that crossroads.
It's a moment of real internal struggle. He thinks about going back to being a shepherd. I mean, he knows that life inside out, right? He knows how to shear, how to protect the flock from wolves.
He's good at it. He's proud of his practical knowledge, his ability to care for his animals. He even thinks, if I decided to leave them, they would suffer.
Yeah, that sense of responsibility, that attachment to his current reality.
Yeah.
It almost feels like a duty holding him back from his own dream.
It's a powerful pull. And then the wind changes. The Levanter wind blowing from Africa.
That becomes this huge symbol, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It brings the smell of the desert, maybe spices, adventure, the dreams of others who sought the unknown. It's not just air moving. It's like the whisper of adventure itself. Gold, pyramids.
Freedom.
Freedom, yes. The freedom he suddenly realizes is only being held back by himself. It's a direct sensory link to his destiny calling him.
And then he has this realization that the things in his current life, the sheep, the girl, the fields, they weren't ends in themselves. They were just steps.
Steps along the way to his personal legend. That shift in perspective is crucial. He's not abandoning his past or saying it was worthless.
Yep.
He's recognizing its role in preparing him for whatever comes next. It validates his entire journey up to this point.
And then the decisive moment. He sells the sheep.
He does it.
And the ease with which it happens, his friend, who always dreamed of being a shepherd, buys them immediately, like on the spot. That's described as the principle of favorability.
Or beginner's luck.
Right.
It's as if the universe gives him this immediate, tangible sign, yes, you made the right choice. It smooths the path for that first courageous step.
Does that beginner's luck serve a purpose, do you think?
Oh, definitely. The book says it whets your appetite with the taste of success. It's the universe encouraging him, affirming his path, giving him that initial momentum he needs.
And it teaches something important.
Yeah, that courage isn't about not being afraid. It's about deciding to act despite the fear. The universe often gives these little initial boosts, these lucky breaks, to reinforce that you're on the right track, like a gentle nudge forward.
So, thinking about this for you, our listener, how do you tell the difference between a path that's just comfortable and one that's truly fulfilling?
That's the million-dollar question.
What signals from the world, or maybe your own inner voice, might be urging you forward? Santiago's leap of faith, helped by these initial omens, it's a powerful reminder, isn't it? Sometimes the greatest adventure starts when we dare to listen to that inner call, even if it means leaving something safe and familiar behind.
So Santiago arrives in Tangier, Morocco, and it's immediate culture shock.
Big time. A completely new continent, strange customs, the Arabic language, everywhere. It's all foreign. He even has this initial fear of the infidels, based on his upbringing.
And he's barely got his bearings, barely set foot on the ground.
When he faces his first major setback, this supposed new friend, someone who speaks Spanish and seems helpful,
Leads him right into a trap.
and takes all his money. Every last bit he got from selling his sheep. It's just brutal.
A harsh welcome to the unknown.
And that betrayal, it's such a sharp contrast to the beginner's luck he just experienced, right?
Totally. 1 minute, the universe conspires for him, the next. Wham! He's plunged into despair. He weeps. He feels God is unfair. He thinks about just becoming bitter and distrustful of everyone. He sees himself as a poor victim of a thief.
That's a powerful internal shift, isn't it? From the hopeful adventurer back to victimhood.
It really is. And it's such a common experience on any path of growth, isn't it? That initial ease often gives way to unexpected, sometimes devastating trials. It tests the very core of his resolve, challenges that newfound faith he had in the universe's conspiracy.
But then there's a turning point. As he's sitting there, feeling sorry for himself, going through his few remaining possessions.
He finds the stones, Urim and Thummim, the ones Melchizedek gave him.
And they almost fell out, through a hole in his pouch that he hadn't even noticed.
Right, and that discovery, the stones themselves almost being lost but then found, it acts like an omen, a lifeline. It jolts him back to the old king's words. Learn to recognize omens and follow them.
It's like the universe giving him a direct physical nudge. Hey, remember your purpose.
Exactly. The universe, or God, as Santiago starts to understand it, reminding him of the guidance he already possesses, and his decision then not to mend the hole in his pouch. That's fascinating.
Why does he do that?
It seems like a conscious choice to accept that maybe some things shouldn't be asked about with the stones, that relying too much on them might make him flee his personal legend if the answer was no to something important. It's about accepting the unknown, even vulnerability, as part of the journey.
And that moment marks a huge shift in his perspective, right?
Crucial. From seeing himself as a victim, he consciously chooses to embrace the identity of an adventurer looking for treasure. He reclaims his agency.
And it's not just the stones. He has that little interaction with the candy seller.
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. Despite speaking different languages, they completely understand each other.
Oh.
Through gestures, through kindness. The candy seller can't understand his words, but offers him sweets. Santiago, understanding the simple gesture, helps the seller set up his stall.
And this is his first real conscious grasp of the language without words.
Exactly. That deeper universal communication that transcends spoken language. It's a pivotal insight into how he might navigate this new world, and it sparks a little bit of renewed hope in him.
So this whole episode really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How do you, the listener, react when setbacks hit on your own journey?
Do you see them as just reasons to quit? Or maybe as tests of your resolve, things that offer new lessons, maybe even unexpected paths forward?
And what omens, those small, maybe coincidental things, do you notice in your own life, especially after a tough time, they might be urging you forward?
Desperate for money after being robbed, Santiago. He stumbles upon this crystal shop. It looks a bit run down.
And he sees the dirty glasses in the window.
Yeah.
And he just offers to clean them right then and there, just in exchange for some food.
Yeah, it shows his adaptability, his willingness to work, his humility maybe. He doesn't just sit in despair.
And the merchant, the owner, sees this as a good omen, so he hires him.
Right, and Santiago's initial plan is just practical. Work long enough to earn money, buy some new sheep, and go back to Spain. Back to his old life. He's still clinging to that comfort zone, isn't he? The treasure seems very far away at this point.
Very far. But what's truly insightful here is how Santiago's ingenuity immediately starts to revitalize this stagnant business.
He has ideas.
Loads of ideas. He suggests building a display case outside the shop. The merchant resists at first, people will bump into it, the glasses will break.
But Santiago uses his shepherd's logic.
Exactly. He says something like, well, when I took my sheep through the fields, some might have died if we met a snake. But that's just how life is with sheep and shepherds. Basically, risk is part of life and growth.
Okay, fair point.
Then he suggests selling tea and the beautiful crystal glasses to draw people up the hill to the shop.
And it works.
It works brilliantly. His ideas transform the business, bringing in new customers, increasing sales dramatically. His fresh perspective, his willingness to take small risks, it's exactly what the shop needed.
But the crystal merchant himself.
Wow.
He's such a contrast to Santiago. A profound contrast. He's comfortable, maybe too comfortable, in his routine, even though it clearly limits his potential.
And he has his dream, right? To go to Mecca, a sacred pilgrimage for a Muslim.
Yes, it's his lifelong dream. But he's actually afraid of realizing it. He says it explicitly.
Why? That seems counterintuitive.
He says, because it's the thought of Mecca that keeps me alive. That's what helps me face these days that are all the same. I'm afraid that if my dream is realized, I'll have no reason to go on living.
Whoa. That's heavy.
It really is. It highlights this common human trap, doesn't it? Sometimes the dream itself becomes more cherished than actually achieving it because the dream provides meaning to an otherwise monotonous existence. The fear of achieving it and maybe the emptiness after, it's paralyzing for him.
So Santiago's work, driven by his own underlying purpose, even if it's just to get back home initially, it's fueled by what the book calls the language of enthusiasm.
Yes, and that energy transforms the business. It shows that when you work with love, with purpose, even if it's subconscious, it resonates. It creates positive change, even in seemingly mundane tasks.
And the merchant introduces Santiago to that word, maktub.
It is written, yeah. It's a concept hinting at destiny. But for the merchant, it feels more like a passive acceptance of fate. Santiago starts to internalize it too, but his understanding seems to evolve, moving away from just fatalism towards something more like active alignment with what's meant to be.
And the merchant has this really poignant realization about Santiago's impact on him.
He does. He says something like, every blessing ignored becomes a curse. You are forcing me to look at wealth and at horizons I have never known. Now that I have seen them, I'm going to feel worse than I did before you arrived, because I know the things I should be able to accomplish and I don't want to do so.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. The burden of seeing your potential but being too afraid to grasp it.
It's incredibly sad. But throughout this whole period, this apparent detour, Santiago grows immensely.
He learns Arabic.
Learns Arabic, gains valuable business skills, and he actually doubles his savings. He earns enough money to buy twice his original flock of sheep. He's rightly proud of that.
So he could go back now, easily. More successful than before.
He absolutely could. But despite having the means to return to his old life, the merchant's final insight hits him hard. The merchant just knows, maktub, you're not going to buy your sheep.
And that pushes Santiago.
It does. It reminds him of his real quest, which isn't just to return to comfort, but to fulfill his personal legend. This detour, working in the crystal shop, it taught him practical skills, a new language, gave him confidence, and ultimately reinforced his true path. It proves that even apparent diversions can be absolutely crucial steps forward.
So what does this mean for you, the listener? Sometimes those detours, the things that feel like setbacks, are precisely where we gain the skills, the confidence, the understanding we need for the next bigger step.
Yeah. Are there areas in your life where maybe you're comfortable with the idea of a dream, but a bit afraid of the reality of achieving it, like the merchant?
And how might your own enthusiasm, your own sense of purpose, even if it's just in small things, impact those around you, even if they aren't ready to embrace their own deeper desires? It's a powerful lesson in valuing the journey, isn't it? Even the unexpected parts.
So, leaving the crystal shop behind, Santiago finally has the means to continue his journey. He joins a caravan heading across the vast Sahara Desert towards Al-Fayoum, which is a large oasis in Egypt.
So he's really heading towards the pyramids now. This is a big step.
A huge step. And this journey is a stark shift from his previous experiences. It demands a whole new kind of patience, a new kind of attentiveness. The desert itself is immense, almost overwhelming, a powerful metaphor for the unknown he's stepping into.
And on this caravan, he meets the Englishman.
Right. This character is fascinating. He's a scholar, totally obsessed with alchemy. He's searching for the one true language of the universe, but he believes he'll find it through ancient texts, complex symbols, books, lots and lots of books.
So he's all about intellectual knowledge.
Completely. He often dismisses Santiago's simpler ways, his focus on observation. This sets up a really dynamic contrast between them. Santiago, by this point, believes understanding comes from observation, intuition, lived experience.
Everything in life is an omen.
Exactly. Their debates really highlight these different paths to knowledge. The intellectual versus the intuitive, the bookworm versus the world watcher.
And the desert itself becomes a teacher for Santiago, doesn't it?
A powerful one. The caravan's relentless, silent journey through these vast, shifting sands, it forces him to develop patience, an acute attentiveness to his environment. He learns that the desert demands respect, that it only allows passage if the caravan, in a sense, speaks its language.
Which connects back to that language without words.
Precisely. It's a deeper immersion into it. He started perceiving it in Tangier, but now he's applying it to this grand, unforgiving landscape. He starts to understand the desert's rhythms, its moods, its subtle signals. He learns by watching, listening, feeling.
He actually throws away his books at some point, right?
Yeah.
The ones the Englishman lent him?
He does. He realizes that while they held interesting information, his true learning, the stuff that really sticks and guides him, comes from direct experience and observation, not just reading about the world, but engaging with it.
And the camel driver on the caravan offers some wisdom, too.
Immense wisdom, very grounded. He lives completely in the present moment. He emphasizes concentrating on the now for happiness because, as he says, life is the moment we are living right now.
Simple but profound.
Very. He also shares his understanding of Maktab, that our life stories and the history of the world were written by the same hand. It reinforces that idea of destiny, but also implies you don't need to feel the unknown if you trust you're part of a larger divinely written story. Live now, trust the path.
And all this is happening against the backdrop of growing danger, right? Tribal wars in the desert.
Yes, that threat increases the stakes significantly. It makes vigilance and trusting those omens even more crucial for basic survival, let alone finding treasure.
So this desert journey really transforms Santiago's approach to learning. It refines his ability to read omens, to connect with the soul of the world, not through books, but through direct embodied experience.
It shows there are multiple valid paths to knowledge, absolutely. But for Santiago, the most effective path is personal, intuitive, guided by observing the world and listening to his own heart.
The caravan finally arrives at the Al-Fayoum oasis, and it's this huge, vibrant place.
A massive contrast to the silent, seemingly empty desert. It's teeming with life, thousands of date palms, people, activity, and importantly, it's neutral territory during the war, a place of refuge.
And it's here, at the oasis well, that he meets Fatima.
Ah, Fatima. This is a profound encounter, the way it's described. Time to stand still for him.
Love at first sight.
More than that, it feels like. He describes an immediate, powerful connection. He feels the soul of the world surge within him. This, he instantly recognizes, is the pure language of the world love. Understood instantly, without words. A deep resonance.
Wow. So this is huge for him. And how does he understand love in the context of his quest, his personal legend?
It becomes clear to him almost immediately. Without such love, one's dreams would have no meaning. Love isn't presented as a distraction or an obstacle to his quest.
Which it easily could be.
Right. But instead, it's seen as an integral part of the universe's design, a force that actually amplifies his purpose. He confesses his love for her pretty quickly.
And for a moment, he thinks maybe she is the treasure.
Yes. He feels she's more important than the treasure he's been seeking. It just shows the immense power of new love, how it can potentially distract from a long-held path. It's a beautiful but also kind of terrifying internal crossroads for him.
But Fatima herself, she's not what you might expect. She's incredibly strong.
Remarkably strong and understanding. She's described as a desert woman, and she possesses this innate wisdom about letting go, about destiny. She doesn't cling to him.
She doesn't try to hold him back.
Quite the opposite. She understands that her love shouldn't hinder his journey. She tells him essentially, go pursue your dream. I'll wait. If our love is maktub, if it's written, part of your personal legend, you will return.
Wow, that's a lot of faith.
It is. She's even prepared to accept his loss if his destiny takes him beyond her physical presence, if he becomes part of the soul of the world. It's a profound lesson in non-possessive love. True connection supports individual destiny. It doesn't restrict it.
So this love isn't a detour, it's actually fuel. A vital force amplifying this personal legend, as long as it's understood not as ownership, but as a shared destiny, maybe on different timelines for a while.
Exactly. And it becomes another test of his commitment to his dream. Can he stay focused even when presented with something so deeply fulfilling, something that could easily tempt him to stop right there? It forces him to prioritize his ultimate quest, trusting that true love will endure separation if it's meant for a greater purpose.
Okay, so he's navigating love and destiny, and then things get even more intense. He's out in the desert near the oasis, just thinking.
Contemplating love, possession, his journey.
And he sees these two hawks fighting in the sky. And suddenly, he has this vivid vision, an army invading the oasis.
Whoa, out of nowhere.
Pretty much. And his newly honed ability to read omens immediately kicks in. He knows this isn't just a daydream. It's a crucial message from the soul of the world.
And this isn't just about his personal quest anymore, is it?
No, this is about the safety of the entire Oasis community. Thousands of lives. The stakes are suddenly much higher.
Oh, what does he do?
He seeks out the camel driver, the wise one from the caravan.
Right.
The camel driver confirms the danger could be real and urges him to warn the tribal chieftains who rule the Oasis. And the camel driver shares another piece of wisdom. God, or the universe, shows the future only when it is a future that was written so as to be altered.
Ah, so the vision isn't just a warning of inevitable doom.
No, it's an opportunity, a chance to intervene, to change the course of events. It highlights the power of choice and action, even within what seems like a destined path.
So his courage is really put to the test now. He has to go face these powerful chieftains.
Exactly. Despite his fear, despite knowing they might dismiss him, or worse, he delivers his warning. He draws on his newfound ability to read the desert's language, the universal language.
How do they react?
There's skepticism, of course. But the eldest chieftain, a figure of great wisdom, tests Santiago. He brings in the story of Joseph from the Bible and Quran, who interpreted Pharaoh's dreams and saved Egypt from famine, comparing Santiago to Joseph.
In a way, the elder acknowledges that their traditions dictate believing messages from the desert, especially, he says, when they come from someone like Santiago, whose eyes are not yet accustomed to the desert, allowing him to see things others might miss. It validates Santiago's unique perspective as an outsider.
So they decide to heed his warning, but with a condition.
Yes, they'll arm the men of the Oasis, breaking the rules of neutrality. But if no army appears the next day, Santiago's life is forfeit. One life for the thousands he might have endangered with a false alarm.
Huge stakes.
Immense. And as Santiago leaves the chieftain's tent, filled with the fear of this bet he's just made, this dramatic appearance occurs.
And a horseman.
An enormous white horse rears up over him, seemingly out of a dust storm, and atop it is this figure dressed completely in black, with a falcon perched on his left shoulder, sword drawn.
Intimidating.
Extremely. His presence is overwhelming, and he immediately challenges Santiago, pins him down, asks how he dared to read the flight of hawks. He demands to know about his courage, his personal legend. This figure is, of course,
The Alchemist.
the legendary Alchemist, finally revealed. It's a shocking, terrifying, exhilarating introduction to the ultimate mentor Santiago didn't even know he was looking for.
Wow, so what are the big, undeniable omens in your life, listener, that maybe you've been hesitant to confront?
Yeah, and how much courage does it take to speak your truth, especially when it challenges established norms or powerful figures? Santiago's journey here shows that embracing these really difficult moments, these points of high risk, is often exactly what's required to move forward onto the next level.
So, Santiago has met the Alchemist, the legendary figure he'd only heard whispers about from the Englishman.
Right, and the encounter starts intensely. The alchemist tests him immediately. "Why should I teach you?" he basically asks.
And Santiago says he needs to reach the pyramids for his treasure.
But the alchemist pushes him further. He actually makes Santiago discard Urim and Thummim, those yes-no stones from Melchizedek.
Why? They seemed helpful.
The alchemist tells him he needs to trust his own heart and intuition now, that the language of the world, the deeper truths, can't be learned through simple yes-no answers from external tools. It's time for inner guidance.
Okay, so it's leveling up his learning.
Exactly. The Alchemist isn't just a guide. He's a catalyst for Santiago's self-reliance. He explains that true alchemists understand that all things lead, gold, desert, stars are manifestations of the one thing, the soul of the world.
So turning lead into gold isn't just chemistry.
Not primarily. It's a spiritual process, a demonstration of achieving union with the universe, understanding its language. The real purpose of alchemy, he reveals, isn't just making gold, but achieving the masterwork, understanding this universal language so perfectly that you can understand everything in the universe and purify yourself along with the metal.
And he teaches Santiago specifically about listening to his heart.
Crucially, he warns him, your heart is going to try to distract you. It will be afraid. It will complain. It will want to turn back.
That sounds familiar.
Doesn't it? But he also says, his heart is where God speaks, where his treasure truly lies, where his personal legend resides. He gives him that powerful line, fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself. And that no heart has ever suffered when it goes in search of its dreams, because every second of the search is a second's encounter with God and with eternity.
That's a profound way to look at the struggle. It reframes the difficulty.
Completely. He reinforces that all parts of the journey, even the obstacles, the fear, the suffering, are part of the process, part of the learning. The alchemist also helps Santiago overcome his fear of leaving Fatima.
Oh, because that's a big one.
He reminds him that true love, love that's part of the soul of the world, will always support his personal legend, not hinder it. He tells Santiago, essentially, if what you found with Fatima is real, made of pure matter, it will last. It won't spoil. You can always come back. If it wasn't real, then leaving is no great loss anyway.
That's a powerful reassurance, trusting that what's truly meant for you will endure.
Exactly. It gives Santiago the courage to continue.
So they journey together through the desert, the boy and the alchemist.
And the alchemist keeps pushing Santiago's intuition, his courage, right to the edge. He shows him how to find life a falcon for food, identifying a cobra's den in the seemingly barren desert, simply by listening, by trusting the signs, by trusting his heart.
And then comes the ultimate test. They get captured.
By warring tribesmen, yeah, it looks like the end. But the alchemist does something incredible. He tells the tribal chief that Santiago isn't just some traveler. He's a powerful alchemist who can turn himself into the wind.
Wait, what? Can Santiago do that?
He has absolutely no idea. He's terrified. The chief is intrigued, maybe amused, and gives him 3 days. Turn yourself into the wind or you both die.
No pressure then.
None at all. And this is where Santiago truly has to embody every single lesson he's learned. Faced with certain death, he has 3 days.
What does he do?
He goes out into the desert alone. He speaks to the desert asking for help. The desert says, I can offer my sands to help the wind blow, but I can't do it alone.
Okay.
So he speaks to the wind. The wind is curious, challenges him, says we're different. Santiago argues they speak the same language, the language of the soul. The wind gets interested but says, you need the help of the heavens. It tells him to speak to the sun.
So he speaks to the sun. This is getting cosmic.
Very. The sun understands love, but doesn't know how to turn him into the wind. The sun says, speak to the hand that wrote all.
To God.
Essentially, yes, to the ultimate source. And in that moment of communion, praying, listening, Santiago has this profound realization. He understands that the soul of the world is also part of his own soul, that he, the desert, the wind, the sun, the hand, they are all one. And because of that connection, he can perform miracles. He understands the language of creation itself.
So it's not about magic spells. It's about deep understanding and connection.
Exactly. This moment of ultimate fear, surrender, and connection is his breakthrough. He understands the pure language of the world, not just intellectually, but deep in his bones, experientially.
And he does it. He becomes the wind.
He does. The narrative describes the simoom, the powerful desert wind rising up. The tribesmen are terrified. He essentially dissolves and reappears on the other side of the camp. He demonstrates mastery over himself and the elements through his connection to the soul of the world. It's the culmination of all his lessons. True alchemy, not just of metals, but of the self.
Wow. That's the peak, surely.
It's the peak of his tests, yes. After this incredible feat, the alchemist continues to guide him just a little further. They stop at a Coptic monastery near the pyramids.
And the alchemist actually does the gold thing.
He does. He demonstrates the physical act of alchemy, borrowing lead from the monk, turning it into gold, and he divides it into 4 parts.
Why 4?
1 for the monk for his hospitality, 1 for Santiago for his journey, 1 for the alchemist himself, and 1 left with the monk just in case Santiago needs it again later. A bit of foreshadowing, perhaps.
And he gives Santiago one last piece of advice.
Wherever your treasure is, There also will be your heart, a reminder to stay connected to his core desire as he reaches the final goal.
So finally, Santiago arrives. The Egyptian pyramids. The destination from his dream.
After this long, incredible journey, he sees them, majestic in the desert, and he starts digging where his heart tells him to, near the base, weeping with joy and exhaustion.
Frantically searching for the treasure. Does he find it?
He digs and finds absolutely nothing.
Nothing. After all that.
Nothing. Instead, worse, he gets attacked. 2 men, refugees from the tribal wars, beat him up and demand any gold he might have found.
Oh no. From the peak to the pit.
Exactly. And in his desperation, Santiago tells them about his dream, about coming all this way for a treasure buried near the pyramids.
And one of the men laughs at him.
Yes. Laughs and says, "You idiot, I had a recurring dream too, right here on this spot. My dream told me I'd find treasure buried back in Spain, in the ruins of an abandoned church, under a giant sycamore tree growing where the sacristy used to be."
No way.
Yes way. The exact spot where Santiago started, where he had his first dreams.
So the treasure, it was back home all along.
It's back home all along. This is the ultimate profound twist. The physical treasure wasn't under the pyramids. The real treasure was the journey itself.
All the wisdom he gained.
The wisdom gained, the fear conquered, learning the language of the world, discovering love, becoming the person capable of understanding the alchemist's lessons. That was the true alchemy.
So he goes back.
He goes back, laughing, understanding. He returns to the ruined church in Andalusia, digs under the sycamore tree,
And finds it.
and finds a chest filled with old Spanish gold coins, precious stones, golden masks. The physical treasure was real, but he had to travel all the way to Egypt and back to understand where it was, and, more importantly, to become the person worthy of finding it and understanding its true meaning.
And he remembers his promises.
He does. He takes a portion of the treasure to give to the gypsy woman, fulfilling his promise from the very beginning.
And then.
Then the wind blows, the levanter carrying Fatima's scent, her kiss. He knows where his heart is now. He heads back towards her, towards the oasis. His journey comes full circle, but he's a completely different person.
The external treasure was the catalyst for an internal transformation. It proves the personal legend isn't just about reaching a destination, it's about the person you become along the way.
Beautifully put. Santiago began as just a simple shepherd, driven by a recurring dream. He met these powerful mentors, the gypsy, the king, the crystal merchant, the camel driver, and of course the alchemist. Each one pushed him, tested him, revealed deeper layers of universal wisdom.
He faced betrayal, loss, found unexpected purpose in what seemed like detours, discovered deep love, proving that love isn't a distraction but a vital part of the journey itself.
He learned to trust omens, that language without words. He learned the profound truth that when you truly desire something that originates from the soul of the world, the entire universe does conspire to help you achieve it, though maybe not in the ways you expect.
His path, filled with surprising twists, profound realizations. It brought him face to face with his deepest self and with the magic inherent in the world, if you know how to look.
And Santiago's story, it really holds up a mirror, doesn't it? It reminds us that our own lives are constantly speaking to us. Through symbols, coincidences, those internal nudges, every challenge, every unexpected meeting, every moment of fear or joy, it's an opportunity to learn the language of the world and understand our own unique purpose.
Our own personal legend.
Exactly. And it shows that sometimes the greatest treasures aren't found in distant lands, but in the transformation we undergo within ourselves, which might bring us back to where we started, but seeing it all with completely new eyes.
Like Santiago, maybe you find your path isn't a straight line. Maybe it involves doubt, setbacks that feel like total failures, detours that seem to lead you miles away from your goal. But perhaps, as Santiago discovered, those are precisely the moments where courage is forged, where your intuition gets sharpened, and where the deepest, most valuable lessons are revealed. The journey itself really is the treasure.
So if the universe truly conspires to help you achieve your personal legend, what seemingly impossible dream are you ready to wholeheartedly declare, even just to yourself?
And maybe more importantly, what subtle omens, what language without words has the world been speaking to you lately, urging you forward on your own extraordinary journey, no matter how much fear or uncertainty you might feel?
Perhaps the treasure you seek isn't as far away as you think, but the journey you need to take to find it, that's what will truly transform you.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Oh, say hello to.
Hit the bell icon to stay updated with more audio podcast sessions.